name is Jay Grubb. I've been in the insurance business now for 21 years. Um, I didn't start here. My background, I did more of tax planning, estate planning, and complex asset protection for high net worth individuals, 5 million and over. So my whole business prior to about 3 years ago was um, 1 to 5 cases a year, long underwriting process, a lot of frustration, a lot of good and bad, years. But that was kind of my background. And a good friend of mine who was in technology came to me, and he said, "Hey, you're going to be out of business in the next 5 years." And I just laughed at him. I said, "There's no way." He said, "Look, I'm telling you, everything is going digital, and you have two choices in the life insurance industry." He said, "Number one, you can get ahead of every insurance company and start something now, or in 5 years, you'll be behind the curve trying to figure out what to do and really just trying to reinvent yourself." So I took his advice. He did pretty well in life and had a few successful companies, and I let him help me build this product, and that's how it all came to life. So it was him, myself, and a good friend of mine named Dominique Wilkins. Some of you guys might know who Dominique is. Dominique is a retired NBA Hall of Famer, but he's also a type 2 diabetic. And the reason that when we launched this, we wanted to do precise marketing. So like in our industry, people always talk about target marketing when you're trying to hit um, a, like a target area or a target group of clients. Then there's like exact marketing, which is a little bit a ring inside of target. And then like what we call is precise marketing. I could tell you exactly who our end client is using this platform. So when we wanted to insure diabetics on a digital side, um, you can imagine a lot of insurance companies probably had a good chuckle at me when I called them and said, "Hey, would you like to participate in this product with us?" Um, because life insurance companies know diabetics have a shorter life expectancy. It's harder to get insurance, the underwriting time periods, and all different kind of things that typically insurance companies don't want to be involved with. But I knew a guy who owned a life insurance company called Senior Life, and I called him. I said, "Hey, we want to build this product for diabetics. Would you guys be interested?" And absolutely. Then I said, "Well, you have to give us all of your underwriting and everything because we want to build this as a digital product." And that took about a year to work out all those kinks, to be honest with everybody on the call. It wasn't like an easy journey. We have multi-millions of dollars invested in this technology, and you'll see it in a second. But it wasn't it was a long journey, but we finished it earlier this year. We've been testing it for several months. We have a bunch of agents using it. We're using it ourselves. And we're doing a national launch on this product in November. So you will start seeing this everywhere you go. We're rolling it out with multiple celebrities here in the South and across the nation. So Dominique won't be the only face. We're talking to, I think, 10 to 20 other celebrities right now that are going to come on and help us promote the brand. But what is it? I mean, what my friend and myself saw was, people want to get life insurance, but the biggest obstacle that I ever saw selling life insurance was the underwriting process, right? And I'm sure everybody on the phone can attest. How many cases have you lost to underwriting or some snafu in the system of an insurance company messing something up? And it was always a lot. And I always said, "Wow, I wish there was a way that we could take a client from A to Z and not really even have to talk to them. Like they can just go online. I can send them a link and they can fill it out, and the policy gets delivered to them, and I could be at the lake or at the beach or whatever." So when we built that, I built that in mind was, hey, I want to get this in front of as many consumers as possible and try to focus my time on other things. And that's how we built this program. We built it very efficient, very easy. The way the consumer can navigate this is a very simple process. So I'm going to go through a sample with everybody on the call. So This is the site that we drive people to. So it's Diabetic Direct Life Insurance. So we have a lot of information on there, how it works and everything. And every 3 seconds, get coverage now, get coverage now. Um, so when a client comes on here, and basically this is when every agent has their own unique URL. So every one of you guys would have this, and this is how the client would come to. It would say join us, followed by like your agent code. So this is all the consumer would see. They never see the front page of the site. And then the client goes right in to get started. So I'm going to show you an example. And if you have any questions, you could always ask me throughout the process or anytime. But we've made this very simple for a client to come in here with just a minimum amount of information, and they can get what I call like what we used to call a quote, but I call it almost an offer. And it's very important that we get their email, and I'll tell you in a second why this is important. But we ask for this up front, and I'll tell you why in a second. So you see that right there? We found an email in the system. So what happened was, this is another thing that I used previously. So this email address is going to get a link. It says, come finish your application. And then once they hit the link, it brings them back to where they left off. So we have an 8 email system, follow-up system for you guys, that it's a very seamless process. So I'm going to go back and do this again and not use that email address. But that once a client comes here through the first time, they're going to get dripped on. And again, we've made all the marketing on our side for you guys, that you wouldn't have to do anything. All right, so once they put in that email, it goes into the system. Here's a zip code. So we just ask for their zip code. I'm gonna use mine. Products available in 40 states across the country. So it's wherever you're licensed in those 40 states. A lot of the Northeast states and a couple of the northern states aren't available as well. So I'm going to be a male. And who's the policy for? This is pretty critical right here, because what we did, and you'll see the marketing is all based to the end consumer, who the person's buying the policy. So you could buy it for yourself or someone else. So I'll show you some of the marketing pieces that we made that you'll have access to. That this is a very crucial piece of what we're doing here. So I'll do this one for myself. Height, weight. So it's a very easy experience for the consumer. They just go in here, just say 6'4", 260. I'll do 6 foot 260. Here's the questions. As every person on here has had an application where they ask you the same question 20 different times. So what we did was we worked backwards with the application. So if you haven't been in the hospital in the past 10 years, their answer is going to be no, and it bumps you to the next question. But if the answer is yes, then the sub question comes up. How about in the past 5 years have you been in the hospital? The answer is no, you move on. The answer is yes, they ask you 3 years. So what we did was we made this, again, super easy, super super for the client can navigate this process very easy. Again, we ask, instead of asking them questions, the line item, do you have any heart problems, lung problems, kidney problems, circulatory problems? Typically diabetics do. Or let's see, liver problems, no. Again, here's a cancer question. Have you been diagnosed with a cancer or stroke? Answers no here. If its answers yes, they'd ask you, how long a period there was. Tobacco and nicotine, and high blood pressure. So the answer is yes, same thing. Here's a really easy one. So the medication, most diabetics are on a good amount of medication. They typically don't know how to spell it. We have every single diabetic medication in the world already listed in here. So If they're on insulin or whatever, all they got to do is type it in, you add the medication. So you could just keep adding medications, one after one. So um, we can get diabetics, insulin dependent diabetics insurance, and I'll kind of go through that in a second once we hit the next page. So once they type that in, they qualified for what they call a standard whole life plan. In this program, we have three types of policies. We have a standard whole life, that's day one coverage for the diabetic. So if we went to the next page, here's the coverage they would qualify for $50 a month. They get $7,500 worth of benefit. For $75 a month, they get $11,000 death benefit. If they want to do their own policy, they could get up to $20,000 worth of death benefit for $128 a month. We've found that the pricings of these products are the most competitive out there, especially for the ease of underwriting and everything. So that's a standard whole life plan. The other two plans they have is they have a modified whole life that has a 2-year waiting period. So if the client dies within the first 2 years, they get their money back plus 10%. And then they have a guaranteed issue as well. So that's someone in a hospital currently can get a guaranteed policy. Even if you have cancer or whatever, you have a 3-year waiting period. If the client dies within the first 3 years, they get their money back plus 10%. Those are all built in on the platform as well. And based on the questionnaires, the client would, see on this screen before which one they qualified for. So say the client wants, hey, my budget's $50 a month. They would click that. Here's where they would put in their address and their social. And then beneficiary. So just say my wife. And relationship, spouse, telephone number. And then if you want to add more beneficiaries, you can add as many as you want. The secondary beneficiary, what we found was most people they defaulted to a state. So we have the beneficiary tree or the estate, whichever one the client wants to do. It's up to them. So existing policies, if they have an existing policy, they just come down here and hit yes, type in the name of the company, policy numbers option, and that's a very simple step there. Then after they answer these questions, these are, again, they're confirming the questions they asked before. Are you in the hospital? Do you have AIDS? Cancer question, past 6 months. Have you unexplained weight loss or weight gain? Have you been hospital 2 more times in the last 6 months? Have you had any tests in the past 2 years that you haven't done? Again, this one won't change yours. A couple of these will change you. So for instance, if I answered this question, yes, it would go back and change my policy to a guaranteed or a modified. This is for COPD, chronic nervous system or disorders or anything like that, and drug and alcohol abuse. Once you answer those 7 or 8 questions, you hit next. You put your physician's name, so John Smith. And then next page is payment. So after you choose bank or credit card plan, it gets sent over, policy gets issued the same day, and client gets the policy in the mail. We're working on an e-delivery one, so hopefully we have that done in the next 30, 60 days for a policy that gets e-delivery. We have to mail it right now, but that should be done very short. So it's a super easy process in terms of taking the consumer from one end to the other. I've sat down and talked to the client about this and walked them through it. I've sent the link out and they've completed it on their own. And like I said, the great thing that, just say I quit right here and I exited this page, I would get an email in the next 30 minutes saying, hey, finish your application. Your family's counting on you. Then for the next 21 days, there's 8 emails coming out. So it's every 3 or 4 days, they're going to get a reminder email to finish their application. Then after 21 to 30 days, we discontinue that the marketing campaign for you. So, but you can market however you want. We just put that in because we, in our testing and everything, and working with the agents that we already have on, we found that the automated follow-up process was the best way to do it. I'm going to show you some target marketing that we put together. I think someone had a question. Okay, so I'm about to go through the marketing right now. So this will probably answer your question. So what we've done for you is we created funnels. So we have sales funnels already set up for all the agents that are involved with this. And they look like this. So I want to get life insurance for myself. So what we did is we identified the 4 types of people that are going to come in and buy this. So the first one is people needing it for themselves. So what we did is we created videos that you would have access to market this product. And I'll show you what a couple of them look like.
Diabetes. When my doctor mentioned that word, a million thoughts went through my head. What am I allowed to eat? How much will medicine cost? Can I still get life insurance? I talked to dozens of insurers that simply denied me, where others took months to get me an answer. I need a life insurance company that understands people with diabetes and can quickly get me a policy that fits my budget. That's when I found Diabetic Direct. Diabetic Direct is life insurance made specifically for diabetics to get approved fast. It was really easy. All I had to do was simply fill out some medical history. They suggested a policy that worked for me, and they built me it right on the spot. No need to talk to an agent. And because they only work with diabetics, I didn't have to worry about being rejected because of my pre-existing condition.
Hi, I'm Dominique Wilkins. You know, I'm a diabetic just like you. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes over 20 years ago. I've talked to diabetic groups all over the world, and I keep hearing the same gripe. Can't get life insurance. Getting life insurance as a diabetic is hard, expensive, and it takes forever to underwrite. You can click Get Insurance now, and with
So that's one for yourself. I'm going to go back up here and show you one for my grandkids. This one works really well. Let me play this one.
When my daughter told us I was going to be a grandmother, I was so excited for her. When a few years later, she told me the doctor had diagnosed him with type 1 diabetes, that excitement turned to anxiety. What will his life look like? Will his health get worse over time? Will he be able to get life insurance? In my research, I read that I can lock in my grandchild's life insurance rate by getting it early. That's when I found Diabetic Direct. Diabetic Direct is a life insurance made specifically for diabetics to get your child approved fast.
So that one's for the grandchild. I'm going to do this one for the parents. So this one is good too. So this is someone buying it for their adult, buying it for their parent.
My dad and I are pretty close. We even got closer when my mom passed away. To make things harder, she didn't have life insurance, making a hard time even worse. That's why when a doctor diagnosed him with diabetes, I decided that we should get serious about life insurance. Turns out getting approved for life insurance when you have diabetes is really hard. Many simply turned us down while others took forever to get back to us. That's when we found Diabetic Direct. Diabetic Direct is life insurance made specifically for diabetics to get your loved one approved fast. It was really easy. All I had to do was simply fill out some medical history. They suggested a policy that worked for us, and they built it for me right on the spot.
So we have those videos available. We also, every week, you're going to get 3 to 4 social media posts. We also have email campaigns. If you have email, like a block of emails that you want to send it out to your current clients or prospective clients. We have text message campaigns. So like if you have clients that you're working with or potential clients, we have a short little 5 to 7 things to say and to attach your link with. The nice thing is once you send your link out, they go to it, you get credit for it, and you'll sell policies. And who knows, you know, you might not ever even know the end consumer on this. And that's what we're finding out. A lot of people are referring these to their friends and family, and they're coming back and saying, oh, I don't even know who this guy was, and end up being a cousin of one of their clients that was a diabetic that needed insurance. So it's working in all different kind of ways. There's nothing out there like this that's this comprehensive, this precise marketing to one group of clients. This does work for anybody. We just use Diabetic Direct in terms of to specifically. Okay, Karen had a question. So on the videos, we would send a video to you, so in a video file, and then you have a unique URL that has your agent number on there, and that's how you would get that. So so like in social media or any type you post the video with the picture, and then you have a URL and a call to action below that, and that's how they would go back to your specific URL. We don't have like agency names or anything on any marketing material. You like wherever you post it from is probably going to come from your business name. So what we did was we have like the first post that you post out, or you post or email or whatever. It just talks about the partnership with Diabetic Direct. So it would be like, hey, my name is Karen, or hey, this is Karen. I'm excited to partner with Diabetic Direct. Did you know there's, 12 million people out there, or 30 million people out there that don't have life insurance and they're diabetic? I want to be a part of the solution, and that's why I partnered with Diabetic Direct. I don't know the exact wording because our marketing team comes up with all the scripts and everything, but they provide all that to you. It's really easy. So once you get onboarded, we do a webinar. We talk about all the marketing and next steps. The insurance company, Senior Life, does have a background check that they charge you for, and they charge you for your contracting fee in every state. It's something that we don't make money off of. It's nothing I can control. I personally had to pay those exact same fees in every single state that you do. But for you, I look at it as a small investment as an agent, because we have several $1 million worth of technology that we're giving you access to. We're not charging you a monthly fee. You have access to our marketing. Our marketing changes every single month. So we're shooting new videos every 4 or 5 days. We're shooting a series of 22 videos right now to go out. We also they have lifestyle videos. These work really good. So it talks about Dominique, exercising, like diet, everything. So you're going to have access to these to post, which are they get a lot of traction as well.
Well, one thing I do as far as exercise routines is I do a lot of walking, love to walk. Sometimes I do an interval workout, basically where I'm walking on level 4 on the treadmill and run on level 6, 7, and 8 for 2 minutes. I'm doing a 2 minutes back and forth for 20 minutes. And basically what you're doing, you're getting your heart rate up, you're breaking it down, and you're burning more calories. So that is a good workout for me because I'm not outside running on the street. So I'm not putting all that strain on my knees.
So those are the kind of, we're always trying to put out content, because content is the key in terms of in a product like this. The more we can put out, and the more traction you're going to get. Yeah, I could get you the fee schedule on the states. So every state has a fee, and I think the contracting fee is like $50 or something like that. It's not much money. So again, it's a small investment. And if you have questions about that, you're welcome to reach out to me direct. They'll give you my information. But in terms of something else out there like this, we haven't found anything. Some other companies are trying to develop some technologies to do this, but as you know, life insurance companies aren't always coming out with the latest and greatest things for an agent. They create something, and then most of the times it doesn't even work for the agent. That's why we created this. Me being an agent, I created it based on what I saw in the industry and how I could personally use it. And we weren't even planning on releasing it to agents, but about 50 of my agent friends reached out to me and said, hey, I want to use this. So we had to actually create a whole new back into our system, the URL links. So it was at the beginning, it wasn't, we weren't even going to offer it to agents, but as we saw that, we could help more people doing that. And we launched it out, and things are going good for the people that are currently using it. So again, I can't tell you how many policies you will sell using the system. I can tell you will sell some because it's so easy. You're going to open up a whole new, what we've seen is it's given our advisors that are using it, it's opening their doors to strategic partnerships. That's the biggest thing. That's how I actually built my business, is I built it all off working with high net worth banking relationships and things like that. So when we were building this, we took like 4 or 5 of our first agents, and they went to PNC agencies, they went to endocrinologists, they went to people that have a good amount of clients or a good amount of diabetic clients, and just showed them the program. And I mean, they've made some really good partnerships. One of our guys, he's partnered with 3 endocrinologists, and he's sold a lot of policies, but he's also went in there and he's done a lot of work with the endocrinologist, and he's made just because the endocrinologist sees this and sees the type of technology they have, so says, hey, this guy must be super successful to have, to be a partnership with a product like this. So you let him do his own personal planning. So I know he got a couple $1 million worth of assets plus some big life insurance cases, which I wish he would have gave me a part, but he didn't. But it's no big deal. But yeah, it's a really big door opener because of the technology that we have involved, and it's easy to use. So anybody else have any other questions? And typically what we do is once people get contracted, Brokerhouse will send you out the info and getting contracted. We do a follow-up webinar where we actually go through the marketing. I'll have my marketing guy on. He'll show you how to post everything. And it's super simple. And I see who can insure the diabetic, an employer. You mean, can an employer pay for this? Yeah, the answer is yes. So what they would do is they're buying a policy for someone else, and they would do in that section, it would be other, and they can be employee. So the answer is yes. That has happened multiple times because some group plans don't cover diabetics. We just, one of our guys just did a big open enrollment with one of his companies, and they kicked out about 25 people, and he onboarded all 25 through this program. So that's a great question. Any other questions? I don't want to keep you guys too much longer.
Jay, that's great. I appreciate everything. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Ty.